seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Brian, we'll have to ask you to step out for just a few minutes for the executive session, and we can come right back.
Would you like me to leave?
Please.
No, you.
Guys, take note that Wee Man is not that well behaved and he needs work, obviously.
Morning, Kevin.
Good morning, sir. No
Okay,
action.
Jerry, you can go on.
No action on the executive session. It was discussion.
Just to note for the record, the DA probate deeds account that had $8,200.
Yeah.
I have closed that and those funds will be going to the DA's budget.
It was what, 8,000 something?
8,200.
Yeah.
The county received a check from Varney Buick GMC Mazda in the amount of $6,875. Where would you like those funds?
What was it? Is that ours or does that go to the pool?
No, this was the sale of a vehicle to Varney. Matt requested that he would like to see it go into the vehicle replacement fund.
Yeah, I think so. I think you should.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
So it was from Barney, you said
It was from Varney Buick.
I think that's
GMC
where it
Mazda.
should go.
6,875.
It's a vehicle.
Yeah, no, you're right, Bill. Yeah.
Do we need a motion?
You don't need a motion on it.
I think it would be good to at least note where it's going.
Vehicle replacement fund,
Okay.
Yeah.
which I think is 0264. The workers' comp files need to be updated from the 1099s. The last time I've seen them updated was maybe 2014. I've seen some stuff from 2020, 2021. This is for independent contractors. Our workers' comp requires that we carry a copy of their certificate of liability and or their predetermination from the state of Maine. Before you in the packet that I gave you earlier today, there's a letter that I'm going to provide the contractor along with a copy of the application and where to send it to. I do have an original copy here and I'm asking for signatures from the commissioners, having it come from the commissioners.
Okay.
Thank you for being on top of that one.
Next on my agenda is I have made a photocopy of our current capital reserves, our active reserves, and a list of those. I don't know how you'd like to proceed, but I think it's time to review each of those, determine the new targets, add any new reserves that I think that you should have in a reserve, whether that's a workshop, Amy and I, if you want to work on that. I don't know how you'd like to proceed.
Let's
but
do it in the workshop.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we don't have to do it today.
Nope, but I did want to provide you the information.
Yeah, we definitely need to update them.
Yes. We've had our budget meeting. I have entered in all of the state valuations. The county tax has been broken down by each town, and the assessment that is in front of you is for both the county and jail combined. I'm requesting approval for the mill rate for the 2024 budget to be set at 0.001708,437. I'm asking for a vote for approval.
Motion,
I'll make that motion.
Second,
second, all in favor?
And if you could please sign this, I will then provide a copy to Barb so that Barb can send out letters to the towns.
I have started the templates, so they'll be
Excellent.
easy to get going.
And then the second two pages.
yeah, one is county, one is jail. I appreciate that. Do you send the 3 out to the towns? I hope not, because that
No.
could get confusing. Okay.
I believe that there's a form letter that Barb sends and it's one letter with the total amount. Also before you is a copy of our updated reserves, our ending balances as of 1/31, actually as of today, and then interest as of 1/31.
Pardon me for interrupting. Can I back up just for a second? Did you folks take a vote on the mill rate?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
I'm sorry, who was?
I did.
Thank
Barb
you,
and myself.
thank you.
And then I also provided you with a breakdown of the tan that we borrowed. So far, county has taken 88% of the tan. Jail has used 11%. We have borrowed currently a total of 703,328.49. And that ends my
What is today? February.
February 15th.
You're full of good news this morning.
Thank you.
You're right. Well, it was fun seeing you today.
Sorry to set the mood.
Accept And file the trade, finance.
I second the motion, all in favor? Thank you.
And my final last piece is accounts payable for both county and the jail. I will start with jail first. Accounts payable, 155, 813.56. Do you want me to repeat that?
Oh, was that both of them? Was that payroll and
That's
bills?
just AP.
Exactly, I'll take the total.
Payroll is 45, 527.37 for a total of 201, 340.93.
Second,
Yeah, yes, sir.
all in favor?
This is where we should have a stand. Feel like I'm holding everything up.
County accounts payable, 323,253.08. Payroll for the county, 188,476.18, for a grand total of 511,729.26.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
And that is all I have.
Thank you.
It's more
Have a
than
good
enough.
day.
And Barb, I will get you numbers because I know that I read a lot off.
Great.
And then we're ready for you if you're listening. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. I'm going to be very quick.
Good morning, Annette. What a beautiful color.
Thank you, thank you. So these are just so noted. Paul Haskell, he's a deputy supervisor at the comm center. He's reached his 16-year anniversary as a full-time employee within the comm center and is eligible for a salary adjustment. His hourly rate currently is $29.65, and he'll go to $30.86 an hour with an annual salary of $64,188.80.
So noted.
I have so noted an update. One of the other commissioners' meetings, I had mentioned that Mac Page is a corrections officer at the reentry program. He accepted a full-time position, and Sheriff Trundy has also given him service time for his vacation accruals. So his will be at the 5-year mark at 10 hours and 10.4 hours per month, for a total of 124 hours. So the contract says 124.8 per year, and because we distribute it monthly. So I just wanted to have you so noted for record.
Yes, so
And then the last thing is just something fun is I wanted to talk to you about it. One of the other commissions, it keeps falling off the radar. There's been some scuttlebutt around the office. We would like to have a dress down day. So if we could consider possibly having a day where Friday, say we could wear jeans or just a little more casual than dress. So I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on it.
Some of the other departments have done that, but the catch is they have to pay. Like $2 or something goes in a kitty, and it has to go to a charitable organization.
Yeah, I keep hearing, things along that line. Nothing, I think it went away at the comm center as far as that. They used to give it to the Friendly Callers program.
Oh.
So I don't know if they still do that anymore.
We had a dress down in this office before, right?
For a short period.
Yeah, just very.
Seriously, I don't have a problem as long as it's not like ripped off sweatshirts and tore up jeans or something, but I do kind of like the idea of if we could keep something within us, like if you guys did like a $2
Yeah.
buy-in and it maybe went to the Friendly Callers program, because that's a wonderful program that
It
we
is.
Waldo County do.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, they could make up their mind where they want to put it. you know. It shouldn't be us down.
Right, but I was just
Yeah.
thinking, we
But,
as Waldo County do for,
Yeah.
So you're thinking
I think
it's okay to do like, say, dress down Friday, seems to be casual after commissioners meeting, and then see if they will do a donation
Yeah.
to a program
yeah,
for
why
this
don't you
office.
kind of finalize it?
yeah,
We'll do it.
have a little coffee can and that's what you.
Yeah.
And that is it.
That's it.
Does that mean I have to pay anytime I pop in?
Technically, if you're here more than 5 minutes, yeah.
Thank you, Annette.
Thank you very much, Annette.
How are you this morning, Chris?
Good morning,
Doing well.
Chris.
How are you guys doing?
Very well,
Good.
thanks.
Sorry, I missed you a couple weeks ago. It was not feeling like great. Good to see you guys.
Can you speak just a little?
Yeah. So a few things on the agenda today. First of all, I'd like to report, Rodney's doing very well. I think everybody's been really happy with the work he's been doing and getting acclimated to all the buildings and getting used to kind of the daily ins and outs of the job. And I'm really impressed with how that's going and I'm happy with that. Barb had printed me off a report. This is a summary report for, I only have one copy. For the mold testing for the archive building.
Okay, yeah,
It's a quick summary in there. Basically, the recommendations are the roof, because of the leaks, which we are aware of.
Sorry, I didn't know when we were doing
This
this.
is-
It just
this is
came
the
this morning.
Long one, this is the long, so there's one for 6 pages, which is the summary of what they recommend. And then I just looked at it quickly, the 26 pages are much more in-depth detail of everything. they
What's
rec-
your recommendation?
The recommendation was the roof. And
Do you all have the 26-page one?
no, there's only one, Commissioner Fowler
It's,
has.
it's just pictures, but anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So what's it gonna cost? What do they want?
So, I've not looked at the invoices for the mold testing, but I have right here I sent you the Horch roofing, quote, which was at 16,000, I wrote it down, 425, I think it was. And this is the main roof solution. And I got two quotes, one for the regular jail, just to get a quote, because we had leaks in there, which we're honestly not doing that one. The bottom price of $23,567 is what they recommend for the archive roof.
This is just archive,
The bottom,
23,000.
the bottom one, yes, yes.
And 175 is the jail.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that as well.
So how old are these roofs?
My understanding that this roof currently on the archive building, its lifespan's over, so 25 years.
So it was done 25 years ago. Do we have records
Roughly.
of that? or-
I can look, Keith has a little like
Yeah,
worksheet
Keith
somewhere.
always kept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll look for that. I've
And
been.
what about the jail?
The jail, that one I asked the jail people who have been there forever. And I've asked Keith, they always just patched it with rubber, I guess. And when this is the only quote I have for the jail, but he recommended a full replacement of that flat roof. That's why the price is so high. And I know in the past, they just came up there with however they do the rubber roofs, they just kind of patch it, really. Obviously patching it only works for X amount of time.
And this is the one that's the flat roof.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
So how down would it be? If we were to just raise it?
Pitches.
Yeah, just,
I can ask, I do not
Boxes
know the.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, cause I don't know why you would want a
What's
flat
rated
roof
on
in
it?
state of Maine.
I don't know, jail built 1970, so then that's a part two, I do not know if the roof has been fully redone since it was built. I know it's been patched with rubber, that information I am privy to. I'm doing some more digging, I'm doing a lot of digging through old files. A
So
lot of
this
computer
is-
stuff.
The only quotes you have are from this company, Maine Roof Solutions.
And the Horch roofing company that I sent, which was, I wrote it down.
Which one?
$16,465. That's the Horch for the
For the archives.
Yes.
So they're almost half price compared
And
to
that's
the,
starting, and then also in the email, they wrote, there's some, they might need to do some flashing. And fix the rotted trim around the archive, which would be a little bit extra money, but starting at
How
465.
much again was Torch, Chris?
Porch was 16,465.
Yeah,
Starting.
I think we would have proceeded. with
yeah,
that.
no, that's what I mean. What, did they give an estimate on the jail?
No, not yet. I asked just for that archive one
I
first.
think the jail one we should put on a workshop and dig into it a little bit more.
My estimation is that they will probably recommend the same thing as totally redoing the flat roof instead of just a repair. or patch.
But I'd be curious to see a quote from Torch.
Now,
Torch,
and I
is
can
that
ask.
called?
Torch,
Torch?
yeah.
I was having my peepers in and I'm still getting it wrong.
Porch.
You could ask for that, Chris, just for general.
Yeah, I'll ask for just to get the number.
But we'll take this up later on. All right,
In other news, the heat has been doing very well over at the
Yeah.
Superior Court. They replaced a circular pump with it to push the steam. I guess there's it's a steam heat. Everything's been doing good over there now. I'm making sure Rodney and I go in every morning to make sure everything's up to date. No pipes are being frozen, nothing like that, so.
What did it cost us to have the mold testing done in the archive?
$400.
400?
Yep.
And was the problem because what was it, the heat pump wasn't working?
fan blade was broken.
Yeah, so
How old was that heat pump? Is there a warranty on it?
I asked for the warranty had just run out.
How convenient.
What had happened was I think it was November or early December, there was that windstorm. It wasn't snow, it was a huge storm. And somehow, some way, I don't know if the vibration just knocked it off kilter and that blade just snapped. We had talked with the people yesterday a little bit. I talked with Bill a little bit. I had thought that because the heat pump was probably down for 2 weeks-ish, and the guy came as quick as he could, I think that might have accelerated a problem. And also they said in the recommendation in that report, they said the roof leak, and then there's some insulation that could be, what's the roof fixed? I don't know the word,
Like open up
open up the
a
wall.
couple
and
of the
put-
plywood
yeah.
sections, and I can't remember.
Just
what
fill it
it's
in
called.
with,
Yeah.
it wasn't tan, but it was a type of spray foam, but it had a name to it. Because it wasn't the regular spray foam, because they said that will over expand. And then they said that there was some moisture getting in through the cracks of the exterior door and the windows. Because there's moisture in between the double pane windows.
So the heat's holding all right now.
Heat is
Chris?
perfect, yes, it's, right now it's 67 in there, it's
Yeah.
maintaining, heat pump's working great. I talked to the guy, Aaron's Electric is his name, he put also like an awning, a shield over the top of it, so hopefully that will prevent anything falling on ice and such. So that is fully functional, ready to go now.
This fire block expanding and.
Fire blocking spanning insulation for the installation in the walls.
So, your recommendation, Chris, is they should move ahead with a quote from Torch, right?
Porch roofing.
Huh, I was right.
Porch. Porch, yes. That is the lowest quote. I can look for other quotes if you guys want, but off the top of my head, with the prices around, I think 16,000 to start for a total replacement of roof is really good.
Excuse me, question,
How
Yeah.
much was the quote?
The quote for the roof, the archive roof was $16,465.
Where's the money coming?
Well, we're not approving it just yet,
Okay.
Carrie, but we're noting how it's almost half the price of the other quote from Maine Roof Solutions, and that's just the archive.
Okay,
We're noticing that that's significantly less than the original, and we've asked for a quote from Porch for the jail, because he has a figure of 175 here, and we're just gonna wait until, what'd you call it, workshop?
Yep.
We're gonna wait for a workshop.
yeah, I don't like that, something's wrong there.
Yeah. We're not spending money, boss. You can
thank
go
you.
back in and,
But I think in answer to your question, Carrie, I think that money would come from facilities all over.
Okay,
That's where it come from.
okay, thank you.
So do we want to approve Chris's request this morning to take care of that?
yeah, I believe so. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve the quote for 16,465 with a small plus or minus, because remember, we've got to get
Yeah.
probably AZAC trim and stuff like that, coming
I'll
from
second that.
facilities all other
Second,
0269.
all in favor of the, okay, you're all set, Chris.
All right, looking at the thing, there's a couple of things. I'll get a hold of my contact, John from Porch, try to see the earliest that we could do, because obviously we have new files in there, try to get as early as we can. Try to, I think it was 20% down to start, so 20% of that, I don't have a.
Yeah, kind of bear on them a little bit, Chris, because I watched them work and they can, one day they could be on and gone.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a good crew.
Yes, yeah, I agree, I like Porch.
There's actually a bunch of winter crews, because
Yeah.
I didn't know roofing in the
No,
winter.
they are really experts
Yeah.
on what they do.
In the email I send you there, and I'm gonna look through it too, in the bottom, they explain kind of like with the winter, how it's going for them right now. And when I met John, he said we are pretty booked out. So I'm gonna kind of get a hold of them today, see what we can do to, I think I have to get once we figure out that date, I have to get a permit from the city of Belfast. There's a neighbor letter that the neighbors there from the jail that has to sign, there's that one house. And those such things, and I'll go through all that and get that done. I will start that process. We'll get going.
Chris, I have one other question for you this morning. We've been in a discussion this morning about moving a bunch of large boxes around, and where are these boxes now? And it seems to be confusing to where they should go.
The empty cardboard boxes?
No, the DA's stuff. Is that what you're
Yeah.
referring to? The DA stuff, it's downstairs in the cellar?
Their files. I have not. I do not know what their plans are for the files. I don't know.
Would it be worth asking Eric to come up right now?
Well,
Actually, he was coming in around 10:15, but maybe he's available.
But I'm just thinking.
yeah,
I know he was.
I can work with them, and I know we've talked about, for instance, with the archives, moving the files like with the moving truck, but that's obviously in the.
anyway,
spot for that.
you
I do
know,
not
the problem is we're still gonna be out there. Well, one thing to think about is we could do something at the Peter House out to the farm. That's a good building, it's
Yeah.
heated.
Yep,
We could
Okay.
use that for storage till spring anyway, till we get into the crop season, which is Put a ways off,
Yeah,
yeah.
we kick them out, yeah. Yeah, because then it would still be August.
Yeah, August, we used it.
I believe that's why he's meeting with you today, is to talk about this. About the move.
Um, And that's all I have today.
Okay.
I will call, I'll try to get everything set up and
Okay,
I'll report back.
yep, thank you, Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Jason,
Mr. Bailey,
Yeah.
Hello.
good morning.
He comes out with me.
He's got no papers. to
just
me.
I know.
time,
That's good.
Here, I have a paper now. It's just the agenda though, so.
Okay.
Just mostly been working on the deeds move. It's been going mostly smoothly other than consolidated. We don't have any phone lines over there yet, so I'm waiting for them to do that. And then once that's done, they should be 100%. So that's really all I have to report to you today.
Okay.
is the move going pretty good?
Yeah, other than waiting on consolidated and trying to get them to
It does look amazing. over
do
there.
what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Have they given us any
that's
date?
the world live, the way the world.
They
is right
said
now.
it was gonna be done by the 14th. That has come and
That
gone.
was yesterday. Yeah.
So I'm calling them every couple of hours
Ooh, good for you.
and not letting
Squeaky wheel
up.
gets the grease.
Yes, and telling them that this is reflecting poorly on us moving all of our phone service to them for the new contract. So I'm hoping that
Ooh, yeah.
keeps them motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Yeah,
That's all I have for you unless you have questions for
it's
me.
incredible.
Okay.
I saw all the wiring and everything that you guys did over there before it was covered up with the ceiling and
Yeah, so
wow.
Good.
Now,
pretty much all I've got for you.
Thank you,
Right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right.
that's the way we like it.
All right, I'll be on my way.
Eric Harvey. Wanna do him now,
because he's here. Oh. Mr. Harvey,
Yes.
good day, sir. Good morning.
How are you folks?
Very well,
I'm
thanks. How are
good.
you?
You?
Great, thanks. So, and basically, it's good timing, I guess, because you was talking about storage, but I also wanted to just give you a quick update of where we're at in preparation for the move. So we've been working with, speaking with Fox again, the same as Stacy.
Mm.
I've had the advantage of kind of following her lead with what she's been doing.
Absolutely. she had
So
it
it's
down
been
pat.
great. It's been helpful for us, so. We're lining up Fox again. We're talking to WB Mason about some of our needs to fit the space as far as furnishings. And then the third issue is the storage. So, I counted the boxes that we have in the basement. We actually have 580 boxes of files in storage currently.
Yeah,
They're in really good shape. They've been kept dry and clean and no problems as far as that goes. Our concern is storage, of course. I know that we can purge those. We've been slowly picking away at trying to purge some of those out ever since we knew we were moving. The legal secretaries have been doing that whenever they get a spare minute. And Fox and Gann is gonna help us shred some of those as we go through them. But the concern is a lot of those we have to have access to, like, we're in there regularly in the basement pulling files. For example, I'll give you a scenario where we had a case that was, alleged sex offense case from 20 years ago, and we have to keep those files indefinitely. And that case was reopened. So the victim came forward once again, so we had to access those same files and pull those records. So I'm not sure, I mean, if I had to take an educated guess, I think we might be able to cut those almost in half, at least a third, as we purge those. But it's the access, like if we go to the farm with those, we're gonna be running back and forth for files all the time.
so let me ask you this, Eric. What would your solution be?
I was thinking about, I threw this out to Dale the other day, and this is what we were talking about getting on the agenda to discuss it. It's like a temporary pod perhaps for storage on site.
And how are you gonna pay for that?
That's why I'm.
I don't mean to be a
Yeah,
jerk, but
no,
times are
I
tight.
know. I don't know what the cost would be. The other thing would be, if we hired someone to scan files, that would be helpful too.
Where's the
Again,
money
I
gonna
don't
come
know
from to
about
pay for an
funding.
employee to scan the files?
I'm guessing a temp, if we could pay someone $20 an hour for,
And where are you
Maybe.
gonna come up with that funding?
I'm not sure. I know that there's some remaining funds from, I think, a maintenance project, I understand. I don't know if that's for sure.
I don't know, I'm asking you, you're
Yeah.
the one that came in.
Yeah, no, I know there was some funds that Dale had said could still be possibly available, but I'd have to ask you folks where those are. I'd ask, actually, Carrie to stand by, and if she knew the balance on some of those accounts. One of the projects that was
What do
under
you
budget.
anticipate the cost will be? I mean,
I think if we did, I think probably the best solution would be to scan, because then it would be done, you know, it wouldn't be a temporary solution. So if we could hire someone, and just throw numbers out there, I thought, you know, $20 an hour reasonable for 4 or 5 weeks, I think we could make a major dent in those files.
I guess I'm still not
You
satisfied.
you scan it, and then you
Yep.
have to shred all.
Then we
that,
can
right?
cut it all, yes.
So there's 580 boxes roughly.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever thought to scan them before now?
Oh, we've been picking away at that as well. Yeah,
Okay.
these have been reduced over the years.
And so back to the 580 boxes. How are they filed? Are they chronologically, like, so if you have a 20-year case from a sex offender that you have to refer, would that be in box number 4?
They're
Or would
dated,
that be closer up to,
yeah, they're dated alphabetically and also by year. So that's how they're stored. So we have boxes, I think, memory serves me, I think the oldest box I've seen in there is in the 60s. Definitely the 70s, 80s, 90s. And it's a matter of going through those one by one. And this has been a process that we do on a regular basis, at least annually. We go through the boxes and try to get them done, cleaned up. as much-
What is the requirement for
Yeah,
the
retain it.
years?
Some of them are for life.
Hmm. So you can't get rid of those though, right? If they're
Right.
for life,
Some of them we can't. If we
So
scan them,
even
we
if you-
could get rid of the hard copy.
you can get rid of the hard copy as long as it's scanned.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
So. Yeah, I have our retention policy actually for the district attorney's records here. Some we can dispose after 10 years, 6 years, 3 years, but there are some that we retain indefinitely.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
How quick is this have to happen, Eric?
Well, so are we supposed to be out by the 31st, is that
Yep.
right? So if we had even a temporary storage, we could work on those in the interim. But right now, we just don't have the staffing to work on
But I
them. We don't have the
see-
time.
I don't even see how you guys are gonna be able to work on them right now because you're trying to figure out on moving. I mean,
Right.
I know that I know the farm's kind of a pain in the butt. I get it. Somebody will have to drive over there and get a file. But for right now, it won't cost us.
Right,
You know what I mean? And it's such a large area. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to see where the files are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's box 1, there's box 68.
Yeah.
And
and that's secure, there's no one else that's in there, because that's,
yeah, no, I mean,
and it's heated, I hear it's heated as
Yeah.
well.
Bill takes good care of those places.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Eric, how would it work if they were moved out? We have a heated building out to the farm we're not using. Bigger house. And, good building, slow build, heat in it. How, if we had to hire someone to scan, why couldn't we set an operation up there?
Yeah, no, I think that'd be perfectly acceptable, especially
mean-
if we had someone.
There's tons of room.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if we had someone to work on scanning those and could get that project done. And we slowly pull the staff when they're available, when they have a couple hours, they go to the basement and work on it. And they've been doing a great job squeezing it in when they can, but to still have time to perform the daily functions, it's just been. We couldn't pull it off before March 31st if we did it in-house. I'm just gonna
I
be
just,
perfectly
I just
honest.
feel like we need to get them out of there.
Yeah.
By the 31st. If we put them over there in the potato house, like you said.
Yeah,
It's a large, it's a huge, Bill's right, it's a huge area, you can visually see, you know, all of these files or boxes, somebody could work at it right there. I get that it's gonna be an inconvenience, but
Mhm.
I think anytime you move, you know,
Oh,
it's still kind of a pain in the butt.
And even having to look for them, you know, it have to go there, but.
Right.
You know,
And just throwing this out there. So like I said, if, you know, had someone 40 hours a week, 20, that's 800 a week, you know, so $3,200, we could probably do a massive dent in those files as far as scanning and purging.
How many
Well-
hours a week?
40 at
No.
20.
No,
Oh, because of full-time.
that's right,
Yeah.
no,
So
no,
30,
28.
28,
28,
You could
isn't
do
that?
the
31.
magic number.
31.
Is full-time, so.
Excuse me,
could do
question
31.
back there.
Carrie,
So, are you gonna put this out for job? Are you gonna post it? Or how are you gonna hire somebody?
do you have somebody in mind? Let me
Um,
ask you that.
I kind of do, but I haven't thrown it by them because I want to talk to you folks first. as well.
Because my other thought is, Carrie, I see where you're going, but at this point in time, by the time we post it
Right.
and interview for it and everything else,
Right,
now,
right.
now we're in June.
Mhm.
So I guess I'd be curious for you to talk to Annette if you've got potential idea,
Okay.
but I wouldn't go more than 28 hours a week.
Okay, and I have a couple ideas. The other thing is, you know, if we were offered overtime, but we don't have that in our budget
No.
either, so we can't do
No.
that. So,
And then I'm gonna ask where you're gonna take the money from.
That's,
to pay for that.
I'm looking, Carrie, I, trust me, nobody's cheaper, you know that. You know that.
Well, we got two things we have to solve. One is moving the material,
right,
right? I
Yeah.
think we can do that. Then
Yeah.
we have to solve the scanning part.
yeah,
And
And
then
you
you
need
have
somebody
to do
who's
that.
gonna supervise how it gets over there.
yeah, oh, I'd have to supervise or one of my
How it's gonna be
staff.
Put in
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
to make it, you know, worthwhile.
580 boxes, I'm pretty sure I can almost guarantee ain't nobody gonna care what's in those boxes at this point, you know, 580 later, but,
Yeah.
Right.
And
But I
then do you
get
have
that.
the proper equipment to scan?
pardon me?
Do you have the equipment to scan?
Well, I'm hoping that he's gonna give us a scanner or whatever.
I'll make an offer because.
We're not
there's a-
buying one.
No, there's a scanner at the archive.
No,
It
good,
has not been unboxed.
and we're not using it.
I will talk with Jason to see if there's, again, they're gonna have to, you have to think about a computer and a scanner and then person filing them, okay? I don't know if there's an available computer. There's, you'd need to have, I'm so dumb about this stuff, but I don't know if you need internet service up, I don't know how the technical
He has
pieces of that
internet.
would work.
Right, right. There's-
Well, I
and
mean,
it's-
I don't know if there's jacks in that room,
I see.
okay?
We have
Data
to
jacks
take
or whatever
blocks of
they're
time to go
called,
over the
but
plans.
as far as the
Oh.
scanner goes,
Okay, good,
that could be a loan over there.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that would be a great idea.
Let's get the boxes moved and go from there.
yep.
Right.
So we'll plan on moving them to the farm, the heated.
Well, we gotta talk with Dale, but that's the plan.
Okay,
Yeah, and Chris, I'm sure could gather a team.
yeah, I'll talk to him as soon as I
It's a
can.
heated building
Okay,
And it won't cost us anything for storage.
and it holds a lot of boxes.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, in the meantime, we'll do what we can, as much as we can. Picking away at
The
those.
boxes, we're talking about something like a banana box,
no,
The
now they're the
typical
file box.
file box, Yeah.
okay,
And they're
the
small.
cardboard,
small,
Yeah, they're smaller than the banana
Well, like
boxes.
what,
20
20 by 60 or something?
yeah, something
60
like
by
that.
20.
I forget the exact measurements, but you know, the standard cardboard storage file box that you see with the little handles on them that. I think Stacy has some too, but
Is that like the banker's box?
yes,
Yes,
exactly.
that's what it
You have
is.
a
That's the
few
term.
long
It's
ones, but
smaller than
not-
a banana
not a lot.
box.
No, not a lot of them.
all right,
So,
sounds good.
great. So I will, so my takeaway is that I can look for someone
Yeah.
part-time, 28 hours to help us scan.
And try and figure out some.
Okay.
Figure out a budget for us.
Okay, very good. Thank you very
more than-
much.
No more than 6 weeks,
Okay,
no more.
okay. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
need to take a vote.
And Carrie, I'm still looking.
You've
We-
given
yeah.
yourself time to,
Workshop, I think we can.
Yeah.
I get, $400,000 out there. You-
So I'll make a motion that we continue this discussion in workshop.
Yeah,
But for the time being, we
Get the.
asked Eric
get them
to
moved
find,
over.
do the
to
time.
find somebody and work with Annette for a temporary part-time, no more than 28 hours a week,
Okay.
no longer than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We will get a crew together to move those 580 boxes.
Do you have an emotion on it?
No.
She's
Sorry.
she's
I,
still,
I will
No.
second it, but,
Continue, you said to continue this discussion in workshop.
yeah, Yeah.
Um,
But we're making an motion so that it's on the record so that
But
we can get
can
started.
start hiring process for
A
up to
temporary
20
part-time person.
Yep, temporary.
And if I'm wrong on the hours, and it might be 1 week it has to be 26, 1 week it has to be 28, Annette can tell you
Okay.
that.
Up to 28 hours a week, or are you not specifying that right now?
No.
Just part-time,
Yeah.
temporary, part-time, up to 6 weeks?
Yep.
Okay,
And is my proposed rate of $20 an hour acceptable?
I'm not impressed, but at this point, to get somebody to come in for no more than 6 weeks for X number of hours, I suppose that's where we're gonna have to be,
That was my thought.
no more.
Okay. I mean, I can start at 19 and see.
It's 6 weeks.
Okay.
But,
Very good.
thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Take
And
care.
I seconded it, so,
Thank
You
you.
seconded Amy, okay. All in favor?
yes. So, you're all set then?
I am, thank you.
Let's do your stuff next, huh?
I don't see Dale on this, but he gave me the CMP County Solar contract. Something about credits.
Yeah, we were supposed to get, what, a $50,000
Yeah.
credit? Even though we were government, remember we argued it
Yeah,
that
we
day?
had to pay,
That's what he
Yeah.
left with me.
had to pay up front.
Is there one for each of us there or something?
That's
No,
what he
okay.
gave.
Yeah,
All right,
go ahead.
so,
So as I understand Dale, when he explained it to us, we had to pay and we would get that money back.
Yeah, we paid up front. Well, the gentleman
Yeah.
that presented the proposal, and I'm still, remember, I've actually got it here. Because initially they said with the solar that we were buying into, that we qualified for a credit, which we found odd because we're government. And he assured us we would. And then they've since then changed their tune, of course. But, no, we're arguing it, and I think,
So you're gonna talk with Dale, Barbara?
He gave me the folder, told me you folks would know what it was for. I don't know if there's a place that it needs to be signed.
so you haven't read the contract, you haven't read it?
Not, no, I have not had time. I'm sorry. Did he email it to you at all?
I don't see anything.
Okay,
We got a workshop coming right up, we can do that
Yeah,
in a workshop. Get the contract read.
yeah, I think we can table until we have the um, workshop.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's what I'd like to do. I'll make a motion that we table.
Give it back to Mel.
That's,
The solar contract for now,
yeah,
I'll second that.
okay.
All in favor?
I would like to see.
We'll have that workshop coming right up, so we're good on it.
When is that workshop?
Oh, we'll settle
Oh,
it.
okay, okay.
We have to find a time.
Yeah.
right?
Next, Bob,
just typing your motion there. Sharon Peavy sent a message yesterday. With the move, the question has come up because I guess some folk, we had to leave the back door unlocked. And some people were going upstairs and trying to access probate that way. And so the question was raised. Could you confirm with the commissioners that the back door at the top of the stairs is to remain locked? And that we should continue to send folks that come to the probate lobby to get downstairs around the building and use the ramp entrance? That's continuing, right?
Yeah.
That's what she asked.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So, yep, I'll
Yeah.
tell her, yes, that's confirmed. Thank you. In continuing the discussion on the archive. Bear with me. I've got too many folders. Oh, here we go. So at the archive itself, the Superior Court Archive, I went over and counted the boxes of permanent and non-permanent records that are up on the top floor. There's about 285 boxes. There's a large file cabinet that is about half the size of that table, has the original hand-drawn maps in it. There are 2 other normal-sized file cabinets. And one other that it looks like it's 4 different smaller but normal-sized drawer file cabinets all stacked on each other. Those have the original Mylars of the maps in them. An old metal desk, which we're not gonna move, and that's another discussion for another time. And a little bit of office equipment. Of those 285 boxes, about 205 are permanent records. And then there's also 50 large books of volumes, which take up 2 shelves. Of the non-permanent records, there's about 80. 20 of them are payroll related, about 50 are finance related. 7 are commissioners related, but they've all met their retention limits, and I've been starting to go through them to destroy them. So there'll be about 3 boxes that will become permanent. I've been trying to figure out how to fit those in my office space and possibly somewhere in here. I had tried for years to get finance to go through their boxes. And so that's why those have accumulated. I did tell Carrie about them a while back. What the good news is, it's just a matter of reading the retention schedules, figuring out the 3 or 4 pages out of those boxes that have to be saved, and the rest can probably go. But that's gonna take her some time. And the same with the payroll stuff, we'll have to figure that out and see what Annette believes she should keep and what has met its retention schedules.
So all that right now is in our.
So
Yes.
your point is.
My point is, none of us knew that we were gonna be delayed, I mean, that we were not gonna be able to move those until that roof was fixed, so I've got to come up with a temporary solution, and I know the last time we talked, on February 1st, you said people may have to stuff things in their offices for a while.
So you're saying right now there's 200 something boxes, where is it now?
The top floor of the Superior Courthouse.
I guess
we
it's
can-
going in the potato house for the time being. If we're gonna move stuff,
Well, I'm gonna do it again. One good thing to notice, they're not all big. Some of them are like this. So there are some that could be stacked. They're light. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How much can I shove here to avoid, taking them far away and hauling them around?
When you want to have it here in your, in your office, let's say, is it for convenience?
No,
For you to maybe look at them instead of having to go up to.
no, it's not for that
Some will be
purpose.
stored up there and some here. Are you making a choice of which ones would be passed here?
I was just trying to find a temporary home.
Okay.
Do you have
I'm
to re-
open-minded to,
you have to refer to these boxes very often.
very well, but not very often.
Is this something that Susan could do, like you say to her, anything from 1989 on? We don't need, or from these boxes, Susan, pull out these 3 cover sheets. And
No.
everything else can go.
The way it's been, I wouldn't start taking things out of those boxes. They're in archival boxes with tags on them. Yeah, so no, I just was gonna try to see what I could put here that doesn't
For
interfere.
storage?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
just
I mean,
temporary
I'd store
storage.
whatever you could here, and the
And-
rest of it,
Yeah,
well, not even the potato house, we could leave that to the VAs, but
I think
We-
they're gonna need it.
don't we still have a bay, Bill? Don't we have a bay? One
Gotta
of
be.
those,
It's gotta be heated. They can't get real cold,
So the
real.
potato house will hold both entities if it has to.
I'll do what I can,
Big
but
building.
put them here and not have them be a problem, but
yeah, but I mean, otherwise than that, I guess,
I
guess
mean, I see what you're saying, we could take them out there, we could bring back like 4 or 5 to a time. Sort those out, destroy the rest,
you
and
can't destroy those. Those
So-
are, this is the permanent records I'm talking about moving over here. We do need to go through those 80 boxes that need to be.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna knock it back, hopefully, to just over.
So what if we
200.
kept the 80 boxes here? Somewhere, I don't know. we'll move the flags
I
and,
think if,
you know, whatever, but, and then the archive
I'm
stuff that we have to
hoping-
keep forever. Just store it out there for the time being, and as soon as we can move it back in, I don't wanna see us wasting a lot of time,
no,
spending a
no,
lot
that
of
was
time
the
on
point.
this.
No, I understand. I'm hoping that the ladies will, and I know where everybody's right out straight. I'm hoping they'll have time to, maybe they can even go over there or have someone bring 3 or 4 boxes out of wax, so it's not overwhelming to them. But they will have to figure out what they're comfortable with going through, but we've got 6 weeks, so if we can
So
do
dump some
that.
boxes in their office every day and, yeah, go through it, chuck it up, keep it.
I'll let them try to figure out what's best for them, but I'm
I'm
just
sure you
letting
have a
know.
copy, being
Right,
the
yeah.
keeper of the records of what they need to keep and
So
what they
Bob, do
don't.
you
We,
need
they,
to,
everyone has the disposition schedules, yes.
you need to retain, you said like 3 or 4 pages in every box?
No, I don't. If I had to go out there and look for something, I'd go out and look. Very rarely, most of the time, we've got all the commissioners' volumes have been copied here. People can access that here.
Hmm.
We have the maps here, and Veronica made copies of those maps a long time ago.
Yep.
That was so we could do the work here, so the bulk of it can happen here. Once in a great while, I gotta go pull a petition. Right, it's not gonna, that's not the problem. I was just trying to find a temporary home for them until we can move them up there.
Oh,
That's all.
I,
And I didn't plan on Foxengen or anybody else. Chris,
Good.
poor Chris, bless his heart, but we are gonna have to rent a truck and probably the same with the DA. So maybe we can coordinate that.
I
I
have,
think you should try.
I think you should take Carrie and Annette to see these records if they haven't seen however many boxes of theirs. And just say to them, they gotta be out of here by the 31st. So either going to the garden, call it the garden, or you're gonna pile them up in your room, figure it out. And just move on and, you know,
Thank you. Let's see if there's anything else I needed to talk to you about. And I hate to even bring this up, but as Chris mentioned, I don't know yet because the testing isn't completed. I don't know what work is, if there's gonna have to be any remediation up at the old jail archive. The one that got the mold problem. I don't know what's gonna have to be done and how much that will be. I'm glad the testing came in lower. It was only 400. They gave us 1 free test because they felt sorry for us and I appreciated that. We're waiting for some of those tests to come back. So what you're seeing is just part of it. So the heat pump cost to get that fixed, which Chris had done, it was $914.43, and they had to put a little awning over it so that the wind will not come back around and heat the stuffing out of that again. The wind and the rain. The records preservation budget has enough money. The reserve has enough money to cover that $914.43, because Chris doesn't have it in his budget. We could do that, and then the $400 for the testing, so that's gonna leave a balance in that reserve of about $622. But that's all you'll have left for work to be done up there, and they strongly told us that because of the nature of that building anyway, and just being in the state of Maine, they said they have to recommend to most of their customers with a big building like that, they need a commercial grade dehumidifier. And they told us we should get that soon, and this will hopefully prevent this kind of thing from happening again, once the roof is fixed. So I don't know how much that will be, we've got to price that out, they have some recommendations.
Well, you know, we didn't have this problem. We were using this building, we didn't have this problem until we had a broken blade on the machine
Sure,
and no heat in the building. So why, if we, you say why I'm asking the question?
the reason they're telling us this is because they can see how much, even with the heater having run now for several weeks, there's condensation between the 2 windows, they're double paned windows, those great big windows up there. So they said that a lot of this is just the nature of the humidity of the state of Maine. So it's just gonna need, even in let me just reference to you, even in the current archive over at Superior Court, we had a dehumidifier running in there in the summer. And we had the air conditioner running. It was a very tough balance to keep the humidity levels right. It's just living in Maine in brick buildings, so we're gonna need one way or the other, and I don't know what happened to the dehumidifier that had been there, but it's gone.
Why would we get the money to pay for it?
I don't know, Bill. I don't
I
know.
think it could fall under facilities, all other.
I don't know, I think we need to hold on to that for a
Yeah.
potential roof. And I'm not,
How much is in there, Amy?
well, I'm looking at another one. So what have you expended, Barb, out of records preservation? Cause
Well-
I'm coming up with different numbers than you.
Okay, I checked with Carrie, I think it was yesterday or the day before, to find out what we had as a balance. And I've already subtracted it. That's why I'm telling you there'd be about 622 left. Subtracting 400. Hang on. Let me see if I
400
can-
was for the testing, more
Yep,
testing.
Hang on a minute, let me see if I can find, like I said, too many papers. 1,000 something. Here she comes.
Good job.
I'm looking today.
That's right.
So
well-
currently, before any expenses taken out of
Yeah.
the,
Records.
records preservation is 1936.45
Is what is in there?
is what is in there.
36.45.
Yes,
Why is it not updated on this?
the revenue, it hasn't ever been. To my knowledge. The balance for the reserve is not in there. I can work on
Yeah,
adding
no, I
those.
was just, okay, so 1936.
It is on this reserve sheet that I gave you.
I know, that's why I was coming
Okay.
up with different numbers, Carrie. Thank you. I say we just hold off on the records preservation. I'm not downplaying our records. I think they're vital to keep and we want to do everything we can, but truthfully, in all honesty, they sat down cellar in the Superior Court building for 100+ years and
No, they made a,
and yet they made it. I
Yeah.
know. And then we try to do a good thing. No good deed goes unpunished and move them up there. And it's just been
One thing
expense
after
after-
another.
It really
It
has.
really
And right now, it just, I don't mean to be cruel. It's not my priority. It just isn't.
It's become a priority because we have to get them out. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's what I mean. But we found a solution. We'll get them out. We know where we'll put them, for the time being,
Okay.
but I just. I workshop,
workshop.
that workshop. Yeah,
Put 'em in
we'll
the
talk
work-
about it at workshop.
Okay, but to clarify today,
Just pay for.
Barb
them all.
has a bill for $960.
$914.43.
Was that in the warrant?
It was not.
Why does she have a bill and it
It
wasn't given
just
to you?
came, it just came,
It came
Why-
after
why
the
did you-
warrant.
yes. I just got it
was
yesterday.
done.
$936,
$914.43.
and that's to fix the.
That was the heat
heat
pump
pump,
repair.
And we've already paid for the 400 for the mold.
No, just
testing.
got that bill yesterday too.
Yeah, I guess pay those 2 bills and then you're broke. So we don't do any more then. Would be my thought. I mean, we have bills, we asked them to do it, they fixed it, whatever, but for the time being.
Why are you gonna take the money from?
Well, for the time being, they have the money in the archive
The
Reserve.
records
Yeah, yeah.
to pay for those 2 things,
Yeah.
and then that's it. You should, I don't know why you.
It seems to me that, there hasn't been a great deal of thinking up to this point about what's gonna happen.
Well, that foolish archive, quite frankly, to me is almost like a money pit. It's like when you buy that beautiful old colonial that looks great, and then it just seems to go, because every time we turn around up there, there's
Yeah.
something, and I think, and maybe this will be a good lesson with Eric. If we can find somebody that comes in on a temporary basis that gets rid of what we don't need, maybe if we can scrounge up some money somewhere, we can do that with our records.
Oh,
'Cause
we've been trying to scan for several
But,
years, trying to
as I said,
eliminate the paper pile.
I just, right now, whew, boy, it's important. I'm not downplaying, but
No, I understand.
It's not
I
your
understand.
priority.
I'm trying to figure out why, like, we've got the little vault here.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got file cabinets here and we try to keep 6 years of. But I guess there was no planning for storing these things in these moves,
Yeah.
in their own office
Mhm.
space and, I'm not picking on anyone. I think
No,
it's
I know.
just that, I think everything's been moving fast and nobody's had a chance to really
No.
think about it.
thank God for the potato hut.
All right, let's
Thank you.
move on.
And then the other thing I have is just those minutes from the last time.
I read all of them.
Yeah, they look fine,
You ready?
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Okay,
Are we caught up on the minutes yet?
yeah,
No, we're working
No.
on, you've got a bunch that
Yeah.
you're training Susan that she's
Right.
finished.
We'll get them finished.
We are steadily working on them. We're making good progress. We just need to keep, that reminds me, we need to talk about briefly the process for getting the recordings. Jason had been putting them on the website. We're not doing that right now, so I don't have access to them right away. And that does take time for him to send those, so we're gonna try to work out a process, because we had one where we could quickly go and get them and start working on them. but
So what was,
we don't
why
have-
did that?
It
what-
changed because you pulled all those recordings off.
Well, we said that if we haven't done the minutes, the recording shouldn't be on there.
Okay,
I mean, what's a draft is a draft. It shouldn't
Yep.
go out there, but I don't understand why that changed access for you.
I could go to the website and get them.
But Jason can't send you the link.
He's right.
Totally,
You-
I'm
you
a
just get the
technology
link from
idiot,
him,
but,
Yeah,
and-
no, I know,
and you
he's
go
only
with
got
it.
so much time in the day.
but I don't
I'll work it
understand why
out
they
with him.
can't be sent.
No, they can, I'll work it out with him, but I just didn't, yeah, thank you for filling me in on the background on that helps.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think the problem is because we discovered stuff that. Because we don't know technology very well, I'm an idiot on it, that executive session shouldn't be out there and was. But I don't understand why that link can't just be sent.
what else do you have, Barbara?
I am gonna need a very short executive session afterwards, just to,
We got some,
go
in
over
the-
some legal stuff with you folks, it won't take a long
we
time.
got some that will, let's move that to the end
Yeah,
of the meeting.
Sure, and that's it for me. For correspondence,
Okay.
thank you,
All right, and we don't need Eric because we saw him earlier, right?
right.
Holy cow, which means we're actually on time.
You all set, Bob?
I am, thank you.
We're gonna take a short break and then I'm gonna have a public chance to speak.
We'll just slide it right back.
And under the public session, I think Kevin had some comments. Do you have any comments today?
No, I don't.
Okay, you all set. Kevin, I guess you're ready for you.
Yeah.
Come up.
So listening to the discussion about record retention, having gone through this in my career, I don't know how many times.
You're hired. No.
I can tell you at one point I had over 20,000 banker boxes. And in trying to move all the banker boxes and then medical record retention, if it's a child left.
Oh,
in-
God.
You have to retain it 26 years. So the easiest way to tackle that is before the move is look at your record retention policy.
Mhm.
And if it can be destroyed,
Mhm.
take it right off the
Yep.
file before you move those boxes.
Exactly.
And banker boxes, the white banker boxes, which is 1.2 cubic feet. You cannot stack more than 2 of those and they start crushing. If it's the hard cardboard ones, you can go 4 high. But I remember moving 580 boxes or 600 boxes up 3 flights of stairs in Bangor one time. And then the old building, the floor started floating because the side of the walls were kind of coming in.
Yeah.
But I would pull out the records that could be destroyed
Before you
immediately.
even move them. Yeah.
Exactly, that would be
Because
ideal.
otherwise you're moving them twice.
Right.
In the end of it.
Right,
And then the other thing is when you're talking scanning, I can tell you this, so it's a duplex scanner and it's high speed, you'll do well. If it's not a high speed duplex scanner, it's gonna take more time than what you think.
What is it, Barb?
I'll have to ask Jason.
Right, it's because it will take you time. I can tell you, records management hires employees up there, typically college kids, to do the scanning. But it's so much per page and then get very costly. So for record retention, I think moving into heated storage, facility, once you culled out the ones that can be destroyed immediately is a good idea. But you're gonna find that scanning process is gonna take you longer than what you think,
Yes, because you have to name those files.
right?
and
And then the
create a
other thing
file.
too is most people don't realize it doesn't matter what's in the box, what year is in the box. All as long as that box is numbered, Then it could have, typically medical records could be anywhere from 12 to 20 medical records in there, depending upon the thickness of them. You just need to know what's in that box on a spreadsheet. Whether it be Mary Smith, Fred Smith, just label that, and Fred Smith can be from 1986 and Mary Smith can be from 2023. As long as you can locate that record, they don't have to be chronological, they don't have to be alphabetical. You just have to know what's in that box.
It's box number 8, yeah.
Exactly. So that will help you out in that process. I can tell you, because I've done this for a lot of years. And then, then once you put them in storage in your building, then it's controlled access. If you got one department's boxes over here and another department's boxes over here, you want controlled access in there, because what happens is then people start wandering over to the other department's boxes. And next thing you know, you've got boxes that are open, files laying around and everything. So it's a very difficult thing to manage. And you have to be very tightly controlled on records retention, and understandably, you have to maintain records based on the policy and the statute. So, and then the person that does do the scanning, I would assume the county does background checks.
Yeah.
Okay, because there is confidential information in there in some of those records, and that you don't want dispersed. So, those are the things to consider on that.
But I do like the idea, if we can throw it out, if you can get rid of it, Eric, ahead of time, if you see like this box we don't need, you don't move it. We take it to the nearest location and get the shredder, that
Yeah.
on-site shredder guy.
On-site, yeah, typically, do you have a contract with a shredding company?
Yeah, we've had them
We've
in,
had the shredding.
we've had the shredding company up
Yeah, they'll
here.
come right on site and take the 96-gallon totes, and they go automatically up and shred right there on site.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
we've been working with the shredding company.
It's
No,
very
you brought up a
laborious
great
process.
point, Eric. I don't know if you caught it, because like he said, anything that you can get rid of ahead of time,
Do
you
it.
move it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was hoping to do, is get as much done as we can before the deadline.
Well, get as much done as you can, or at least get as much marked as you can, so that if I'm helping you load boxes, it's like, oh, that one, no,
Yeah. But you ought to have on your record retention a rotation policy. That way it doesn't hit you all at once. Because then you're playing catch up, and then you're having to hire a per diem staff to get it to accomplish the task.
It's where we are.
So, well, it happens
We're
to
there.
everybody. It just happens to everybody.
Well, and some of that too is we had the space and didn't know we were moving, so.
Yeah.
And we do as much of it as we can year to year.
Well, it's a good thing to move departments every couple of years just to clean house.
But guess what, Eric? No,
I
as
do
I said.
appreciate watching the pennies for sure, it is taxpayers' money, and but you're gonna find that this is, if you don't manage it very tightly, that this will grow, and then you'll realize that, geez, we should have watched this thing a little bit tighter, because
No, you're
record
absolutely
retention
right, Kevin,
is
and
is an
for
ongoing
umpteen years, it's 20 years I've been here, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Barb has been on us for that, and it was Barb and even some of the former commissioners and ourselves that over the years finally took the reins and were like, whoa, we gotta do
Yeah.
something here.
Yeah.
But,
So the other quick note I had was, how much ARPA money did the county retain? And basically, what did you use it for?
you could ask Carrie for that, and she can
Okay.
give you our actual breakdown.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So as I say, no, we had a, for a long time, Kevin, it was kind of funny, there was a chart on the wall, and we used to call it our Christmas wish list.
Sure.
Kind of like the old Sears and Roebuck book, and,
Still there on the wall.
and,
Inside.
it was our dream, our plan, and you remember when the ARPA funds came out, the book was this thick,
Oh, yeah.
what and how you could spend it, and, we didn't want to spend it. Wrong.
What I don't understand about this, what Kevin is talking about, I read months ago, that after the bill, things came out, that we spend it for counties, and we're using it to buy trucks and getting the okay from the government, so.
Well, I think initially what the funny thing is, Bill, is. And I'm willing to bend the rules a lot of times, but when it came to this, we weren't. And all we could think of is like, I never want to be a headline. And I never want to have to pay it back. Because
Exactly.
we did something wrong.
Typically, what happens is after grant funds come out like that, because I've handled a number of grants in my career, as on the notice of grant award, you know, they'll give the date, who's the grant manager, and how much the money is, and how it's supposed to be spent. But typically 2 to 2.5 years later, when that grant closes, then the federal government's coming around and auditing, doing spot audits, and that's the paper trail that needs to be in place.
And we are that OCD.
Yeah,
We really
that's
are. In
good.
fact, some of the projects or the wish list that we had didn't fall through. So then, you know, it became a matter of, okay, so what's our next priority and how do we spend that? But Carrie would, you know, more than willing
Sure.
to share that with you,
Yeah,
show you our plans and where we're going with it.
This
So,
has to be obligated by December 24 and spent December 26.
Yep.
And I know some of the towns that have obligated, here's a good example in broadband. The Route 1A Waldo Coalition, which is 4 towns, we consolidated the ARPA funds, basically $500,000 to put in broadband with an ISP, internet service provider. And we're hoping to get that grant from Maine Connect Authority, which we did not. So now the conundrum is we've applied for another grant, and the timeline is going to be very tight before, if we don't get that grant, then the funds are going to have to be pulled out and allocated for something else. Or that grant goes forward, but we've got to expend it before 26. So that's the problem, you know, with those ARPA funds. It's the concern for some of the communities. It's
what were the towns in that group?
It's actually Prospect. They came in at the halfway through, Stockton Springs, Frankfurt, and Winterport.
You guys should have been working with, what's the group? Palermo, Liberty,
Oh,
Waldo County Broadband.
They actually got the grant.
I know they did. They,
Because of, they had struggled with some finance problems, but I think at the second try, they were able to
Yeah.
pull that together, which is great.
yeah, no,
You know,
they've been
but,
incredible.
You know, everybody's pushing for the fiber, you know, so, but thank you. That was.
Were you aware that when we first got our ARPA money, one of the first things that we ever did with our money is we gave every municipality in Waldo County $20,000
We got it.
initially, and we had to eat crow here. Remember, initially, we had sent a letter and we had said to earmark that for broadband, hoping that you would all pull together. That was our good deed that goes punished, because we were informed by multiple towns and municipalities, how dare you dictate to us? And it was like, you know what, you're right. You're absolutely right. We didn't have that right. We were just trying to think of,
I know in the case of Winterport, we actually obligated it for broadband.
and quite a few towns did, but we got our hands slapped for that. And, but that was our original intention, was that you guys could pull it together.
It's
so.
costly, but it's well worth it for the future, for fiber. You know,
Yeah.
that's the future.
Yep.
So
Thank you.
Kevin, then we gotta move on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. You don't wanna give up running for commission and do the challenge of solving the box problem, do you?
Well, yeah, really. 6 weeks, no more than 28 hours a week.
Yeah, hold that line, for sure.
Yeah, no, as I said, I got the number here. I'm just trying to figure out where it's coming from, but anyway. Eric, did you have something?
No, I just heard that he was here. I was interested in what he had to say, so I wanted to come.
No, you should talk to him. He
Yeah, I
knows.
plan to. That's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, okay. Kevin, this is Eric Harvey. He's a prosecutorial, he's the head of the DA's office,
Oh, you're
with
right.
the exception of the DA.
Okay.
This is Kevin Kelly. He's running for commissioner and Commissioner Shory's seat.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, there you go, you kids. No. All right, where are we at?
All right, Mike, and that's Knox is coming in at 11. So let's we have an executive session with Barbara and Annette. So let's do that, and then Mike, Knox will be in with Mike.
Did you have anything for us, or was this just a learning experience?
No, it's just a learning experience. I was explaining to Commissioner
Yeah.
Shore that
Yeah.
MSW student for social work.
Yeah.
I'm taking a social policy class. So one of our programs is to go out and look at actually how policy is created and how it's carried
Cool.
out in the community. So someone had suggested coming over here and taking a look at how the county government
4.
So you have 4, any of them certified at this time?
Yeah, some of my staff is certified, and some of them have been recertified, and some of them are going through the training as we speak, so.
In meeting with the PUC, who are the ones who determine whether we can get back our PSAP status or not. They basically said they thought we were on track for what we had proposed, which is somewhere in April. The reason for 3 months is basically just to give us a little leeway in case it doesn't happen right on schedule. As Mike said, what we want to do is just extend what we have, if it's possible. There's no other changes, same rate of pay, same requirements.
Yep.
Turning it to you, though,
Mhm.
do you see that there should be any changes we should find?
No, we, right now, the dispatchers, from my standpoint, seem content with what they're getting for what they're doing. And I've talked with Bob, and we have a little bit more to it. We've come up with a plan. We don't want his dispatchers to fall short coming from the academy, then having to wait 3 months before they can take 911 calls. So he's gonna randomly send them up to us so they can answer some of their 911
So now
calls.
we're training?
Nope, no, just so that way they can answer some of their 911 calls, so they can just keep their skill set up. They'll be already trained. We won't have to do, they're just gonna come up and answer as if they were sitting down in Knox County. We feel that, yeah, and it's like with anybody we train, if we send them the academy, by the time they're done, they've lost a little bit from the academy.
Certainly.
So we don't want that to happen, so they can just smoothly transition over. So if he randomly sends them up, we have one of their positions up in our dispatch, they can sit there and answer 911 calls and to do basically what we're doing for them now. And they'll keep their skills set up, so. But other than that, I think that's where we're at.
And our union and all of our staff is okay with this?
Yep.
Because there's 2 of them sitting in the back, can I
If one of them
ask?
wants to speak,
Misty
No,
Holden?
don't do that.
We were coming to listen and then
Okay.
report back to our union rep to see if that's okay. I know there has been people discussed in, a discussion in between us as a union and think that if it's extended, then we should get more pay.
So from a county standpoint, we were pleased that we have been able to help you out. That's a good thing. We were counting on 3 months extension. We're glad to do that. We'd like to have you have in mind that it has to end somewhere around that time. I guess a week or two, one way or the other, then doesn't make a lot of difference, but you should be focused on that. It's not going to go on for ever and ever. Do you understand that?
Oh, I think from the very beginning, we understood that it was quite generous of you to be willing to offer us 6 months. And we understand that going an extra 3 months, which we sort of at the time looked at, it was probably going to take more than 6 months, but that was the starting point. I think all of us realize it's an awful generous offer and we appreciate it. And there's no way it's going to go beyond that. You know, I think
feel it's
everything is in
worked?
place at this point.
How do you feel it's worked so far, sir?
For us, it's worked out remarkably well. You know, it's almost, at this point, the problems we're having are on our end. You know, if we're having a problem with dispatch, it's because we have a whole bunch of new people who need training, who are learning how to use it, who are just learning how to dispatch. We were down to almost no employees. So the number of employees we have now is basically because we were willing to pay more, because, you know, the system is changing. But certainly, any complaints we've had are on our end, not on your end. So as far as we're concerned, it's worked out perfectly.
And there's fire departments sitting behind you. Are they satisfied? And have you heard anything from them? Are they pleased? Or?
I think again, their complaints are with us. and the fact that we have new people, they're not, certainly not with Waldo County. You know, if the few that we've had are little technical glitches and they've, you know, they've discussed that with Mike and he's worked on the issues, we've worked on the issues on our end. Some of that is just simply computer stuff.
Yeah, Chief Whitetuck and I have talked quite a bit about, some discrepancies in calls and he's
What do you mean
been,
discrepancies?
we could put a call in and it may not get paged out for a certain amount of time. And so we've talked and found out that it's on their end, they didn't see it or something along those lines. So we've worked everything out with him and pushed him off to Bobby if there were issues. But I mean, I don't know if Chief Whitetuck wants to speak to that or not, but he's praised us up and down for what we're doing for him, so.
Jason, technology wise, are we still all good? Are we still able to continue to?
Yeah,
to
we've run into a
post-
few hiccups every now and again where we've had server issues, but Knox has contacted our dispatch center, who've contacted me, and I've worked with them and worked with Zach to get those issues resolved as quickly as possible. We are working on the CAD to CAD integration still, which will make that smoother, so.
So I guess we're happy on this end that for another 3 months, a few people are.
Oh, yeah, we're thrilled. I mean, that you'll even consider it is, thank you.
Do we have some paperwork we need to sign?
Mike, you couldn't get anybody from the state here to?
I asked Corey if he was gonna be able to jump on. I gave him the link, but I don't see him up there.
Can I ask, just to be devil's advocate, in 3 months, what happens when the new employees that you're paying significantly more than anyone else? And I say that harshly.
Yeah.
Because you understand that kind of put the grinds to everybody else. We are most appreciative to the most extraordinary staff that we have that has extreme dedication and honor to us. We are humbled. But, so what is your backup plan? Do you have a backup plan, sir?
The backup plan is the backup plan that's always there, is the state taking on some of that. You know, they have the responsibility to answer the 911 calls if nobody else does.
Yeah, we have no obligation.
Yeah.
The state is the only entity in the state that has the obligation to take it if they don't resolve the issues.
And it's clear in that document that you're gonna present.
I don't think it says that. I think it just basically says that your only obligation is a maximum of 3 months.
Okay, well, we are recorded, so.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're willing to sign this now.
Sure.
Or if you want us to leave this with you.
No, let's get signed up.
Let's walk out with it. What's that?
Let's walk out with it signed.
Oh, let's walk out with it signed.
Amy, Betty has a motion.
I move that we extend, a 3-month period, if not.
I'll second it, but I will say for the record, I'm a little apprehensive because I haven't read this document, but
If, you know, we can leave it for you to read if you really.
no, that's okay, that's okay. No.
The chair to sign.
Oh, you're the only one that's got to sign anyway.
Yeah. Well, you have to vote.
My house is safe. Don't you hate that? It's always like if the penny even writes, you're lucky.
It's not me, it's the dispatchers.
Sure, no,
What's the date?
2/15/24. I saw you pause. I still can't write a check right now without going.
Sure is. You get to be my age. I'm still writing 19 campaigns. This is another one. Sign one of these.
Okay.
Yep.
What I was doing was adding one day Valentine's Day and figure that one out.
We should keep this one, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. That
Yeah,
one's just
it
mine.
doesn't matter, Barb. we'll
Okay.
Make a copy
Thank you.
anyway.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Truly,
See
best,
you, Bill.
best of luck to you folks.
Two originals, or do I need to make a copy?
Anything else for us?
No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you all showed up. Welcome on board. I'm not gonna tell you, I'm a little bit concerned. I didn't hear from the, I'm a rabid supporter of the fire departments. My family was always in them, so I see these gentlemen here representing the fire departments and I'm leery. I'm hoping that you're satisfied with what we're doing. And we'll continue what we're doing. Extraordinary people that we have and if you have any other ideas or recommendations or thoughts or whatever, I'm grateful for the communication.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll be out in a minute.
Okay.
Don't forget to jack.
Thank you, Dick and Dan. Time to come out.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Greatly appreciate the help and you guys have been phenomenal and I don't think we'll ever be able to repay you, so.
Well,
Thank you.
Well.
Stop trying
we
to
will if
steal
we
our
need to.
people.
Yes, that's right. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The numbers show it. I can use.
I have one more item. Dale had gotten me a grant for,
Dale, can you come up?
This is an executive session, right?
no,
Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Holden. Oh, that chair does that, so it's wrong.
I don't know what I said, and yesterday I leaned back just a little bit, all of a sudden snapped and I went back. Dale obtained a grant for me for some remote dispatch,
Homeland Security.
so we need to pay up front and then
So for what?
remote dispatch equipment, so if there's a disaster, we have to evacuate, we have equipment we can still dispatch with. We can go to EMA with it, or we can go to the firehouse with it, or,
You can actually run dispatch from another location.
yeah, or take it like to common ground and dispatch.
I thought we were
there.
able to do that anyway.
No,
I thought that all they
We've
had to
got the
do was.
radio capability, but we don't have
Yeah.
the capability to run, and we can get into Spillman on some of our
Yeah.
computers, but we lose Spillman all the time out there because of the internet
Leave it
connection.
open.
And we don't have the ability to page out there.
right,
or anything.
no, this has got full paging capability, everything. So the grant was approved and everything, we've ordered the equipment.
So you
but-
approved, you've already ordered equipment before you've got approval?
No, he got approved and then I ordered the equipment.
But it's a reimbursement grant, the Homeland Security grant, so we have to spend money up front and then get reimbursed from the state, and it goes back into wherever it came out of. At the moment, all of my accounts that I typically pull from are pretty low.
Right.
Reimbursement, so.
I asked Commissioner Shore yesterday if we could bring it up today, if we could take it from my reserve and then put it back in the reserve after we get the reimbursement.
What are you doing with 146 that you've got?
And I made a copy.
That's for the furniture upgrade. That's coming in June.
So you wanna take 40-something thousand? From where?
Reserve,
Which reserve?
the communications equipment.
Which number?
reserve. I don't know, then, I asked Carrie yesterday, she just told me the title, she didn't give me the number. It's communication equipment reserve. And then once we get the reimbursement, just be able to put it back into that account.
It has to be an in and out account.
Yeah, and I don't have an in and out accounts to do it
We
with.
can't do it with our county budget line, because.
Right.
Out in back. I've got the EMA equipment, we typically spend money out of that and then get reimbursed, but right now, we bought some stuff with Homeland Security, and I don't have the ability to do that. And then,
So Gary, Mike is asking to take out of his communication equipment reserve. He doesn't know the number, so I'm assuming it's 0261.
Yeah.
40-something thousand for this.
There should be 93,000 in
Yes,
that
there is.
account.
Very good. Huh, I guess, yeah.
I mean, we are getting reimbursed the full 40,000.
Yep.
And how long will that reimbursement take?
probably
It's,
about a month.
yeah, I don't know. Don't hold your breath.
It won't be next tomorrow.
What is the bill on all the furniture and stuff like that?
The,
I don't know anything on it.
the bill, for the furniture itself was 149 and change. And then on top of that, I could have paid the state for rewiring some of the 911 equipment to move it around.
And how much was that you were given?
I was given 65,000.
And we received 140, I think 3,000 right now is sitting in the account.
Yeah.
When is that invoice coming?
When is the rest of the money coming?
Well, as soon as, so the way that they do it with that, for whatever, because it's the cops grant. So when so he gave me the quote, I put the money into a program they
No, this
have.
wasn't the cops grant. This was the grant that the 140 something was the grant that we got from Angus King and
It's CDS, but it's a cops technology grant on the backside of it. They're the ones that are running it. So I go into their website, I put how much I need, what it's for, submit it. They transfer that amount over to the account. So we didn't order that till Carrie saw it in the account. So that's there now for whenever we get the invoice from the company to pay that off.
so what are you gonna let them know of this additional cost that it's going?
I'm
to
waiting for the state to see what they are gonna charge me to move the 911 equipment around. I got a tentative quote from Lincoln County because they just went through this, and theirs was 12,000 from the state to move all the 911 equipment.
Well, quite frankly, if you get on it and get it done within the next 3 months, we could ask Knox to flip the bill because it's their 911.
Exactly.
Whatever, I'm cheap, we're broke. I don't care. Yeah, whatever.
Not much, we just got to.
I would definitely say start shopping cheap, because you're sitting on that kind of money,
Yeah.
you know, if costs go over, then maybe it's gonna have to come out of your salary, because I don't know where we're gonna get it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You have a motion on that?
Do we need a motion?
I probably do, so.
Make a motion that we accept the grant that nobody can tell me what it's called, but it's from Homeland Security that Dale got,
Yeah, it's the 2023 Homeland Security Grant
that Dale was gracious enough to get for our communication center, and it gives them 46.
The grant, I think we had 44,000.
44,000.
44,000, in which they're going to purchase remote dispatch equipment.
Second. All in favor?
And it will come out of the communications reserve account and the reimbursement will go back into that.
All set.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dale, we understand that Consolidated is messing with us over there and we can't.
Jason's been working with Consolidated trying to get them phones over
I know, he said he's calling them like every hour.
Phones out when we moved out there. We were without internet for a couple of months.
What is wrong with that company?
It really is. And they don't seem to care, you know, they're a monopoly. And they really don't care about landlines anymore. When we have the storms, they don't ever come out and fix it for.
You know, it's funny you'd say that. I will say that everywhere that poles were ripped down and everything, I mean, CMP came along and they fixed your wires real quick, but then since then they came back and cleaned it all up and made it nice.
Yeah.
And the phone lines, do you notice it's still like hanging wherever?
Yeah. They'll take them forever to fix it. They just don't seem to care.
Thank you, Dale.
Sure.
Thank you very much for getting that Homeland Security grant. What else are we doing with it?
We got money to pay for Brett comm staff. We've got some money to buy some shelter equipment, some long-term food storage. And we got some money to do active shooter type things, training and equipment for active shooters.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's
we have
awesome,
it,
Dale.
yeah.
You
We got a
rock.
whole bunch of tourniquets for the school.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and they're learning how to do stop the bleed.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah,
That was such a great refresher that night.
yeah.
Maybe one of these days I'll actually get to come to another one.
Well, This coming one is gonna be a medical first aid, and we're gonna include some stop the bleed at the end of the class, so.
Nice, so I should bring my tourniquet.
Yeah. We have training tourniquets. So you put those on people and squeeze them. It does hurt, by the way.
It does, but that's when you know it's on right.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, Dale.
Sure.
Hey, we have to, have another session, you say,
Yeah, I'd like to make, adjourn.
yep,
Second.
all in favor?